welcome to Friday afternoon yoga. I lit a candle today. That's a pretty extreme move for me. But for some reason the wind and the water outside seemed to warrant it. Hi Celine, glad you could make it. Daniela, hello. Is the whole gang's here, like? Well, the whole gang's almost here. Almost the whole gang's here. Something like that. Hope you all are doing just dandy. I had the exciting time today of going to the bookstore and picking up this book that I ordered earlier. And I'm so excited to read it. It's by Erin Morgenstern. The Starless Sea. Hi. So we'll go ahead and get started because, why not? Cross-legged, sitting cross-legged on the ground. Hi, Denny! Yay! Classes of all the best people, all the best. Sitting onto the ground, crossing the legs, and either, like if your hips are quite open, you might stack your ankle on top of your knee, but if your hips are not quite so open, just step it back by putting the heel in front. Take the flesh out from under the sitting bones. It's nice to have people out there. And we'll just take the fingertips to the ground behind, and with the inhalation, pry your chest open. Lift your chest. Reach up into it like fountain up out of the hips. Feel the pelvic floor start to draw in, the lower tummy starts to draw in, and you're just like a reverse waterfall, blasting up, flow up out of the ground. Inhale. And then exhaling, gather yourself back in again and round into the upper back, sort of arch like a hood of a cobra coming over. And really fill out your spine and reach your knees away from your hips. And then inhaling again, open the chest, release the face, ease off in the throat. Beam up. And exhaling, curling back in, sort of articulate the belly, articulate the spine. And drop your head, kind of reach forward with your ears. And a couple more times, inhaling. And just float it open, feel the whole spine sort of gather and lift into the body. Face releases, the eyes soften. Inhale. Exhaling, curl back in. And then inhaling, unfurl your spine. So it's the old unfurl and curl. Exhale, curl. And this time walk your fingertips forward and nice long arms. Go ahead and drift back and forth from side to side. And let your face soften and the jaw softens, the shoulders fall away from the ears like a dress falling off a hanger. Hello, Ali. And just let yourself get into a real drifting sort of space. Try to ease off through the shoulder girdle, ease off through the arms, through the hands, and sort of dropping or stepping down into your connection with the floor. Feed the breath. And then inhaling, we'll roll it back up again. Turn the feet to the ground, hands go back, upward plank. So go ahead and swing your hips up. Lift the chest. My fingertips are pointing back toward the back of the space. Knit your tummy together, lift your hips. Reach the knees away from the hips. Knit your lower back together, think of streamlining. Just one more inhalation up into it. Exhaling, hips come back down and putting the other leg on top, so the left leg goes on top. And again, flesh out from under the sitting bones, on top or in front if you prefer to step it back. Fingertips to the ground, inhaling. Again, we'll spend a couple moments there beaming up out of the hips. Collect the pelvic floor in, collect the lower tummy in, collect the lower back in, and like you're squeezing a tube of toothpaste and from the base of the hips and the tooth of the face just shoots right up. Oh, the beauty of the image. Inhale up into the heart and exhaling, rounding forward. Like spread your back, reach into it, lengthen the spine. Inhaling, roll back open again. Exhaling, curl. Hollow the tummy in. And a couple more times. Inhale, open. Exhaling, soften, soften, soften like shed. Inhale, open. And exhaling forward. And this time again, walking the fingertips forward. Close your eyes, settle down, and you might be quite still if that feels nice, or you might go for the sense of internal drift. And breathe into what you got. And explore sort of like this thin thread of intention or thin thread of awareness. Like, what is your biology doing? Inhaling, we'll come back up again. And go ahead and extend the legs out straight. Hands to the ground behind, turn the fingers in toward your hips, and then lift the hips. Let your head drop back if that feels comfortable. Hips reaching up, 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 up. Pelvic floor, lower tummy knitting together. Lengthen your whole body. Press down energetically into the arms. Lift up out of the shoulders. And then exhaling, we'll come down with the hips. And take the flesh out from under the sitting bones. And we'll move through Paschimottanasana. So with the inhalation, slide the fingertips right up the sides. And with the exhalation, gently, gently, floating down, floating forward. Drop the head, soften the face. Inhaling smoothly, rolling back up again. Reach through and past the fingertips, and then exhaling, float right over. And again, inhaling, roll up like a wave rolls in. Exhaling, release, 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 like filter. Inhaling, roll it up. And exhale over. We'll continue with this action, but add a little bit in. So the next inhalation, we roll back up, draw the right knee up to the chest. And then exhaling, the leg extends, and we come back down again. Other side, inhaling, the left knee draws up to the chest. And exhaling, back over from the lower back. Once more each side, inhaling, the right knee draws up. Exhaling, float over. Inhaling, the left knee. And exhaling, back over. Similar but different. Inhaling, sweep the right arm back, and exhaling, float down over both legs. Inhale, sweep the left arm back. Exhaling, plum, lum, lum, relax, relax, relax. Inhale, right arm back. Arc over the top. Inhaling, left arm back. And arcing over the top. One more time each side. Inhaling a right arm. Swim. And left arm. Reach, 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 reach. And we're going to pause there for a couple of moments. And the invitation is to sort of soften into the texture of what you're doing and look for movement and try to feel like you're composed of clouds internally, so it's just really soft and billowy. And then inhaling, we'll roll back up again. Take the right sole of the foot to the left inner thigh for Janushirasana. Scooch back a little bit. And with the inhalation, left fingertips to the ground. We're going to go away from the bent knee. Right arm up and over, and just reaching for a couple of moments there. And again, you're still composed to clouds. So if you can float open, lengthen through to the line from the right hip through to the right fingertips. Inhale. With the exhalation, slow glide forward. Come over your left leg, swim through the space. Come around the corner, right hand back, and come up to the right knee. Lift the hips, swing open, and taking a couple of moments there to extend the line of the body from the bones of the left foot, the bones of the left toes, through the bones of the left hand, the bones of the left fingertips, and try to feel like all those bones are hollow, they are light, they're reaching, they're floating away from the body. Inhale. Exhaling, slowly glide back down again. Hips reach the ground. Inhaling, again the right arm comes up and over. Feel the space you move through. There's no such thing as too slow. Exhaling, slow glide forward. Come around the corner. The neck is long, the shoulders are reaching down the back. Right hand back, hips come up. Breathe, fill, float. Exhaling, again glide it down. Left arm crossing in front of the body. Inhaling, right arm up and over. Exhaling, smooth in the texture. Right hand back, hips sweep up. Exhale, glide it back down. And one more time, inhaling, right arm up and over. Exhale, glide around. Inhale, the hips come up. Exhale, we're going to come down into plank. So the left hand comes down, both legs extend, and we're just going to breathe there. I'm going to swap directions so I can still see you, I guess. I can't see you, what am I talking about? But so you're facing backward anyway. And go ahead and roll through the wrists a little bit, roll through the hands. Lift your chest up toward your back. Breathe. And then just put your right knee to the ground and sit back down onto the right hip. And we'll swap sides. So left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. Establishing yourself there. And then inhaling, left arm up and over. And reaching through that line. Again, composed of softness, composed of clouds. And then exhaling gently, gently, like sweeping forward. Again, you can't really go too slow. Feel the whole spine respond, sort of swish through. Left hand goes back, come up to the left knee. Roll open. Exhale, glide it back down again. Inhaling, left arm up and over. Exhale, sweep around. Inhaling, up to the hips, or up to the knee. Fill up, balloon open. Exhale to glide. Back down again. Turn on like you turn on into a yawn. Inhaling, left arm up and over. Exhale, glide around. Inhaling, sweep the hips up. Roll open the whole front body. Exhale, back down again. And one more time. Inhaling, left arm. Exhale, glide around. Inhaling, swing open. And this time, exhaling, the right hand goes down, the left leg steps back. Reposition your hands, we're in plank. I'm going to breathe there. Lift your tummy up towards your spine, lift your chest up towards your back, lift the backs of the knees toward the ceiling. Find your breath. And then again, just put the left knee down, sit onto the hip. And and all the way to seated. Soles of the feet together. Take the heels right up close to the hips. You might take the flesh out from under the sitting bones. Baddha Konasana, tailor, cobbler. Bring your hands to your ankles. Inhaling, lift the chest. Press the feet together, reach the knees away from the hips. And then exhaling over the legs. And taking a few breaths there. The elbows might be encouraging the knees to open out. Press the feet lightly together. Sits bones rotating back. Crown of the head is releasing. Spine is lengthening. Inhaling, come on up to seated. Take hold of the big toes. And so you can let your legs float for a couple moments there. So knitting your lower tummy together right above the pubic bone. Pelvic floor is engaging. Reach up into the heart. The throat doesn't have to be doing much. The tops of the shoulders can be soft. And we just breathe. And see if you can keep your legs where they are and just bring your hands forward. I like to wriggle my feet here. Keep breathing into what you're doing. Inhaling. Exhaling, let's just place the right foot to the ground and the left hand to the ground. So it's right foot, left hand. Lift the hips and we're going to step that left leg back. So we're in a lunge with the right leg forward and the left leg back. Left hand underneath the shoulder. With the inhalation, swim the right arm forward, up and around. And exhaling, glide it down and around. You might tap your back knee to the ground. Inhaling, right arm forward, up and around. Exhaling, glide down. A couple more times. Inhaling, reach into it, swim through, go slow. Exhale, back down. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale and taking the right hand down. Inhaling, right leg up and through. Three-legged dog. Exhaling, right foot to the ground, downward dog. Inhaling, let's take the shoulders forward over the wrists. Exhaling down through chaturanga, come to the knees if you prefer. Inhaling, come to the tops of the feet, lift the knees, the hips, and the heart. Upward dog. And exhale to downward dog. And find all of your positioning there. Lift the hips up and back, drop your head. Spread your hands, spread your feet. And just sort of looking into what your body is responding to. If you want to charge up, if you want to go real soft. These are options. Everybody breathe. And then we're going to hop through to seated. So exhale, soften the knees, look up. Inhaling, just hopping up to seated. Not all that wild. And then again, we're going to take the big toes. So the legs nice and open. Sit up out of the hips, lift the chest, weight is on the sits bones. And we breathe. Shoulders are down. Legs are reaching in the direction that they point, and you're sort of opening from the hips back to the outer edge of the knee. Breathe. And then let's go ahead and put the left foot to the ground, the right hand to the ground, lift the hips, and then see if you can thread that right leg back. So you're ending again in a lunge, left leg is forward, right leg is back, double check your ankle knee alignment. Inhaling, swim the left arm forward, up and around. And exhale, glide it back down. And again, several more times. So like each time you do it, like your sense of it is a little bit more open, a little bit more smooth internally. Inhale, left arm forward, up and around. Exhale, glide down. One more time, inhale forward. Exhaling down. And then two hands to the ground. Left leg goes up and through. Three-legged dog. Double check your hands, the shoulder width apart. Try to connect into all of your fingers. And then exhaling, releasing back to downward dog. 10 fingers, 10 toes spreading wide. Inhale, float the shoulders forward over the wrists. Exhaling, bend the elbows, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. Lift the heart, shoulder blades come in against the back. And exhale to downward dog. And breathe. See if you can relax the texture of your brain. Temples, eyes. Inhaling. Let's take the right leg up to three-legged. With the exhalation, let's come into fallen triangle. Bring the right foot up outside the left hand. I'm going to change my angle so you can see a little bit better. So it's again the right foot up outside the left hand. I don't know if you can really see better. And then we're going to drop the left heel in and open the left arm up. And breathe. And your arms and your legs are sort of radial limbs or radial spokes. And reaching out into space. Everybody breathe. Inhale. With the exhalation, let's slide all the way down to our bums. So you're just going to slide your feet open. Excuse me. So legs are about as wide as they can go. Take the right fingertips in front. With the inhalation, the left arm comes up and over. Let me breathe. Inhale. Exhaling, glide it forward. Use the arms underneath for support. We're going to take the left hand all the way back and lift the hips. So we're kind of in a twisting open plank. Upward plank. And breathe. Exhaling, we'll come back down again. Hips come back down. Let's just swing the legs around. Bring the hands into downward dog. Right leg goes up and through, three-legged. Exhaling, downward dog. If you would like to add a vinyasa, then please feel free to. If you would not like to add a vinyasa, then stay in downward dog. Inhaling, the left leg goes up, three-legged. Breathe. Reach, reach, reach. Ground the hands, lift the left hip, float your leg. And then stepping the left leg all the way outside the right hand. Drop the right heel in, open the right arm. Fill up your heart. Exhaling, slide it out. So sliding that left foot, right foot, all the way to seated. Right fingertips to the ground. Inhaling, the left arm comes up and over. I think I did it the other way the first time. So inhale, back up the middle. Left hand to the ground. Right arm comes up and over. And breathe. And again, work with energizing your body, like charge up like you charge a battery, reach into it, hug. And then we're going to glide forward, come in between the two legs. Again, use the hands for support. Right hand goes back and the hips come up. And try to feel enormous here. Close your eyes, you are the size of the entire universe. And you are expanding slowly. Inhale. Exhaling, hips slide back down again. Both hands to the front. Left leg goes up and through. Three-legged dog. Exhaling, downward dog, or again, if you prefer, through chaturanga. Upward dog. And downward dog. Now everybody breathe. And even now, like offering your good energy to the people who are doing this practice with you today. And then like deepening your reserves of good energy for yourself. Draw it back in. Exhale, soften the knees and look up. We're going to hop to a squat. So feet up outside the hands. And land on your feet. You can bring your elbows inside your knees if that suits. Excuse me. When your knees are bending, they come on a track over the second and third toes of the feet here, so they're not knocked in. Yeah. And just watch your body get used to it. Breathe a bit. And then fingertips to the ground. We're going to lift the hips and turn the heels out. So you pivoted on your toes. Inhale, lift the chest and look up. Exhaling, drop your head toward the ground. And just watching your body adapt. Interact with your breath. Feeling the spine, water falling right down out of the hips. Head and neck are dangling. Go ahead and take both hands over to the right leg. Take your left hand outside your right ankle, pull back into the left side waist, and hug your right leg for all your worth. Maybe really squeeze into it. And then release over to the other side. And again, you can gather in there, charge it up, hug. Breathe. And then inhale, back center. Release, and we'll take the left hand to the ground. I like to be up on my fingertips there. Move the angle a little bit. We'll take the right arm up. So if you can stack your right shoulder over your left shoulder. Pull back into the left hip crease. Watch your twist. So if you can bring the shoulders down the back, so the sides of the neck get long. Inhale. Exhaling, smoothly swap sides. Right hand underneath the shoulder. Open the left arm toward the ceiling. See if you can find that stack of the bones. But it's not just a stack of the bones, it's like a stack and then a soar. Reach up into the left fingertips. Everybody breathe. Exhaling, the left hand comes back down. One more time, both hands over to the right leg. Left hand outside the right ankle, pull back into the left side waist. Left hip crease tucks back. And again, try to turn on into it, hug. And then like a boomerang, release over to the other side. And breathe. Right hand outside the left ankle. Like saturate yourself in it. Turn on. And then back center. And one more time, left hand to the ground. Right arm goes up. Inhale. Exhale, and this time maybe tuck your right hand around behind your left hip or left thigh. And pull back into the right shoulder. And as the right shoulder blade plates in, bring it in against the back. See if you can extend your chest a little bit more. Press from both hips down into both heels. Try to feel your weight is balanced in the feet. And then one more breath. Exhaling, let it go. Come forward with your right elbow, a little internal rotation. And then the right hand down, inhaling the left arm up. Exhaling, left hand round behind the back. And again, give yourself time for your body to adapt to being there. Find a little bit of ease. And then sort of tighten into the hug of it. Reach back into the left shoulder. Both shoulders down the back, sides of the neck long. Hip crease deepening, pressing from the hips down through to the heels. And from there forward to the feet. Inhale. Exhaling, the left elbow drags down. And we're just going to step the hands to the mat and step the legs back. We'll come into a wide-legged dog, so come right off your mat. Feet are turned in a little bit. Hips reaching up and back. Heels are dropping. Shoulders pulling down the back. And then the shoulder blades coming in, kind of to support the length of the arms. Keep breathing. Inhale, shoulders forward over the wrists, legs stay wide. Exhaling, drop the heels over to the left, and we'll come into a wide side plank. So the right arm goes up, hips are high as can be. And we breathe, kind of corkscrewing the two legs, the two hips into each other. Shoulders down the back, chest is high, hips are high. Exhaling, smoothly swap sides. Legs stay wide, or maybe even go wider. Heels over to the right. Interact with your breath. And so you're kind of lifting up out of the ground. See if your top side can open into a sense of expansion. You rely on your bones. Exhaling, left hand down, square your feet off. Inhale, shoulders over the wrists. Exhaling, wide-legged chaturanga. And we'll come all the way down to the belly. Bend the knees so your toes come in. Lift your chest, it's a king cobra. Breathe up into your heart a couple times. Shoulders down the back, shoulder blades in against the back. Chin up. For the moment, go ahead and put your lower lip up as well, which I quite like doing. Such as the base of the tongue, feels ridiculous. And then exhaling, we'll come down to the back and take your legs closer together, hands in by the sides, forehead to the ground. With the inhalation, come up into cobra, lift the chest. And breathing for a couple of moments there. So make sure that your shoulders are down the back, the shoulder blades coming in against the back, elbows are close in by the sides. The elbows are pretty much always bent in cobra. If you feel like you need to straighten them, just go ahead and lift your wrists. Fingertips on the ground, inhale up into the heart. And exhaling, come down over the legs. Bend both knees. If you can catch hold of both feet, catch hold of both feet. If you can only do one side, do one side. And just kind of snaking your legs out away from you. Your knees might float. Heels toward the hips. Collect your tummy underneath, so you're almost lifting your tummy up off the ground. And then go ahead and release the legs. Inhale, swim up, tip up into cobra again. Spine is coming deep. Open the heart, and again you might do a little quiet drift. Interact with the breathing. And then exhaling, we'll glide the hips right back and lengthen back into child's pose. And find your breath. Spread the back edge of the armpit so kind of get as broad as you can from armpit to armpit. And then inhale forward to the hands and the knees. Bring your knees hip width apart. Walk both hands over to the right. So your left side body is really lengthening away. And breathe. Left hip draws back. For those of you who can, put your left elbow down and then bend your left elbow so that your hand comes onto your spine. And just breathe. Dock the humerus, the upper arm bone, back into the shoulder socket so you're not hyperextending. And then lengthen that arm again and just walk over to the other side. And breathe there. Like your lungs are bellows in the right side body. Turn on into it. It feels so good. And then drop your right elbow if possible and bend it. And breathe. And lengthen that arm again. Step back up to the hands and the knees. And step your knees back just a little bit from where they are. Wrists are over the shoulders. With the exhalation, no, shoulders are over the wrists. With the exhalation, round your spine toward the ceiling. So your knees are back a little bit behind the hips. Arch up into your upper back. Collect your lower tummy in toward your spine. Pelvic floor lifts. Sacrum is going toward the tailbone, tailbone toward the pubic bone toward the navel, navel toward the spine. Keep that backward rotation of the pelvis like a wheel rolling down toward the knees and start to bring your hips forward. So again, sacrum toward the tailbone, tailbone toward the pubic bone toward the navel, navel toward the spine. The natural action of the spine is to roll through to cobra. Open the heart, open the throat. Follow your breath. Exhaling all the way back down again. Bend the knees. Reach back for the inner edge of the foot. To dancer or bow, Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale and kick the feet into the hands. And just again, let your breathing settle. See if you can ease off through the shoulder sockets. Play with the idea of docking the arms into the shoulder sockets. Keep kicking the hands, draping the spine. One more breath. Inhale. And exhaling, go ahead and set yourself down and just rest your arms, your head onto your arms, and windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Enjoy your breathing. And then lengthen the legs again, plant your hands onto the ground by the ribs. Spread your fingers, turn your toes to the ground, I'll turn to the side a little bit. Toes to the ground, lift the knees, lift the hips, lift the chest, and then push up into plank. Let's do 3 push-ups. I know I said it was going to be nice yoga. This is tough love. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And then chaturanga upward dog. Inhale. And exhale, downward dog. And breathe. And reach into what you got. Feed your breath. Exhale, soften the knees and look up. Inhale, step, hop, or skip. Feet toward the hands. Lift the heart as you get there. Exhale, drop the head. Inhaling. Diving up, arms dive right up. Exhale, hands by the sides. Inhaling, both arms up. With the exhalation, let's come down into a goddess stance. So go ahead and spread your feet. Bend your knees. Let's come into this full kind of thing. Oh no, my battery might have just cut out. I'm in low power mode, everyone. But not inside. Inside, I'm in full power mode. So arms and legs are akimbo. You're kind of trying to open the knees back by activating the glutes forward. Shoulders down the back. Sheila Nagig pose. So 3 times, let's go. Inhale, and then exhale, stick the tongue out, be outrageous. Inhale. Banish the evil spirits. And then take your hands right down to your knees and sit down a little bit lower. Take the weight out of the quads. Keep opening the knees backward. Reach them away from you. Inhale. Exhale and go ahead and again lift the hips. Turn your heels wide. And the inner thighs are reaching back. The sitting bones are getting wider. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhaling, head toward the ground, Prasarita. And just breathe there. And watch yourself reorganize into the exhalation. Inhale. With the exhalation, Skandasana, bring your right sitting bone down over toward your right heel. So you're down inside your right knee. You can use your hands for support if you need to. If you would like to, you might take your right arm, let's go over a little bit, take your right arm in front of your right leg and open the left arm. Press into the palms, feel like you're flying. Shoulders down, heart lengthening up. Press into the palms. And then exhaling right over to the other side. Head run into the couch. Breathe. Maybe left arm in front of the left leg, right arm open. And then we come back the middle again. Go ahead and lift the hips. I apologize for what we're about to do, but there's nothing to be done for it. So scoot your feet a little bit in, maybe a little bit wider than the hips. Bend your knees so you can get your torso down inside, in between your two legs. Plant the hands to the ground. So there you want to squeeze your knees against your shoulders, lift the hips, and see if you can just like slide your feet forward. Point your toes, breathe, and then tip your feet back to the ground, and step the hands forward, and step the feet in, and we're in downward dog. There's Firefly to Tadasana making a surprise appearance. And reach. And then we'll just go through the same thing that we did earlier, which I really love. So the inhalation, the right leg goes up to three-leg. Exhaling the right foot up outside the left hand, fall in triangle. Drop the left heel in, open through the left arm. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, slide that right foot forward. Left hand to the ground. Right arm comes up and over so your legs are as wide as can be. Breathe. Inhale. Exhaling, glide it forward. Come around the corner, right hand back, hips come up. Reach. Exhaling, back down again. Inhaling, we're going to throw in a little boat pose here so the legs come in. Navasana. See if you can kind of flow your legs in the direction that they reach. Toes are pointing, feet are pointing, toes are spread wide. And then just bend that left knee, put the left foot to the ground. Excuse me. Both hands to the right, and the right leg goes up, three-legged dog. Exhaling to downward dog. Other side, inhaling, the left leg goes up, three-legged. Exhaling, left foot up outside the right hand. Turn the right heel in. Lift the right arm. Float. Breathe. Inhale. Exhaling, slide the left heel out. Shift all the way to the ground, spin the right toes up. Right fingertips to the ground, inhaling the left arm up and over. Breathe. Inhale. Exhaling, gliding forward. The left hand goes back, hips come up. Open the chest, take up as much space as you can. Exhaling, back down. Again, both legs together and up, Navasana. Breathe. Up through the chest, in through the tum. Right knee bends, right foot to the ground. Both hands over to the left, and the left leg goes up and through. Exhaling to downward dog. Reposition your hands, reposition your feet. Drop your head, relax your brain, relax your eyes. Interact with the breathing. Really reaching the sits bones up, dropping the heels, like a big cat yawning. Inhale, floating the shoulders forward over the wrists. Exhale down to the knees. I'll come back into child's pose. Maybe take your hands back by your feet. And just let your breath happen. And you're receiving the ground. With the next inhalation, go ahead and just roll right up to seated onto the heels. We'll come into half camel or full camel variation. So come up to the knees. Kind of energetically squeeze the knees in. Some of you probably want to have your toes tucked under. Some of you are probably okay on the top of the foot. Take your left hand to the left heel. And then with the inhalation, sweep the right arm slowly across the body. And it might feel best to stop there and reach along that line. I'm going to turn my angle a little bit. Or it might feel like your body is inviting you to drop the right hand back to the right heel. And fountain up out of the hips. And interact with your breathing. Come out of it the same way we came in, so the right arm over the top, the hips come down in the middle. And just putting the fingertips onto the ground for a couple of moments there. Hello, Maria. I can't read it though. Breathe. And then like a wave, coming in. And maybe again the right toes are tucked underneath, tink, or maybe they're not. Right hand to the right heel. And then inhaling, roll it open, swim, reach into it. Maybe the invitation is there to take the left hand back. If it is, go with it. If it's not, like work what you got. Reach into the fingers, lift the spine, turn on. Breathe. One more breath. And then the left hand slowly sweeps back down again. Hips come back. And we sit onto the heels. And again, just the fingertips on the ground there. The shoulders are reaching down. Crown of the head is reaching up. And just letting the presence of the fingertips ground you right down. And then from here, just drop your head over to the left. And send some energy down and out into the right palm. So flex the palm. And then take your fingertips up to your right ear. And like, you know how we have gills for like a couple days when you're in utero? You have gills on the side of your neck opening up. And then just slowly rotating your face down, like you're going to check out your armpit there. And breathe. And then we'll just interlace the fingers out in front, shoulders down, and then just turn your neck up, turn your face up. So you get the sternocleidomastoid in there, the big rope of a muscle in the front of the neck. And then just roll your shoulders a couple of times. And then the other side. So press down into your left shoulder, down into the palm. And then tip your head over to the right. And breathe. Take your right hand up to your left ear. Gentle additional pressure. Like you're a big sponge opening as you inhale, like you're gathering water, and then sort of lengthening as you exhale. And then slowly bring your chin down. And then gently interlacing the fingers out in front here, and turn your face up and just feel that left side front neck stretch. And breathe. Shoulders down. And then roll your shoulders. If your legs are getting uncomfortable sitting onto the heels, you can move your position. And then we'll just take the hands up right behind the ears and just kind of piano fingers, like down the sides of the neck, around the front, and a couple times. And just take your hands right onto your heart and see if you can get into the space between the ribs and go from the sternum out toward the shoulders. And then one rib lower. Like a ladder rung, like rungs of a ladder. And put your thumbs into your armpits. And just give yourself a squish. And then walk your fingers up so your fingers are on the tops of the shoulders. And again, little piano fingers. Breathe into what you got. Heavens. It's all knots in there. And then back up the back of the neck. One hand and then the other, one hand and then the other. All the way up into the line between the neck and the skull, and get your fingertips right in there. Right in there, right in there. And think the hands are lifting a little bit, so you want to encourage the length of the spine and the length of the neck. And then the face, fingertips into the jaw. Just kind of lift your face. And then scrubbing back into the hairline. Around behind the ears and then up toward the crown of the head. Belly. And then just shake yourself out a little bit. And then swing your legs around. And so one more time, like we did in the beginning, take the flesh out from under the sitting bones, point your toes toward the ceiling. Inhaling, lift up out of the pelvis, slide the fingertips up. And exhaling slowly down over the two legs. And we'll just stay here and just give the body a chance to decompress, like let your nervous system sort of step down. Breathe. It doesn't matter how far into it you are, what matters is the texture. So perhaps using the natural rhythm of the breath to ease off a little bit as you inhale, float up, and to ease back into it as you exhale. So you're almost continually sneaking up on it, the inhalation to ease off a tiny bit, the exhalation to ease back in. One more time, the inhalation to ease off. The exhalation to ease back in, and we'll just stay there for a few breaths. Let it develop, let it relax. Again, think of stepping down with like your whole awareness as you exhale. Say a good 3 or 4 more breaths here. Interact with each one. And then with the inhalation, slowly roll it back up again. We'll come on down to the ground. So all the way down to the back. Draw the knees up into the chest. Hug them there. Find a way to clasp your fingers, however it works for you, so that you can completely relax your arms and completely relax your shoulders and your armpits and the space between the armpits and the throat and the jaw and the face and the scalp. Feel the heaviness of your skull into the ground. Feel the heaviness of your spine into the ground. Let go of the hip crease, the fold of the hips. And just imagine like how tiny you are, curled up into this little ball, and then there's like the room, and then there's the house or apartment, and then there's the town, and then there's like the whole planet. And here we are, like a living, breathing part of it all. Exhaling, bring your knees over to the right. And as you settle into the twist, see if you can let the architecture of your bones rest back into the foundation of the planet. And interact with the breath, with the atmosphere. Feel the way the skin is interacting with the atmosphere in your room. Perhaps you can sense just a little bit beyond the edge of the skin, like the periphery of the sensation. Feels like expanding. And working with the breathing, bringing the knees back up and then down over to the other side. And again, give yourself time to settle there, like down into the foundations. So when you close your eyes, it could be any size. You're indistinguishable from a huge mountain range. And again, releasing into a sense of slow expansion, like the same way the universe expands. Step it down. And then bringing the legs back center, shift the hips to neutral, extending out long through one leg and then through the other. Fingers interlace, arms up by the ears, and just reaching. You might yawn. One more big inhalation into the reach of it. And then as you exhale, melting all the way back. Temples, the eyes, the scalp, the brain. And go ahead and bring the arms down by the sides. Turn your legs a little bit wider. Shoulders down the back, away from the ears. Feeling the body reverberating with the sense of a practice, like a bell has been struck. And again, it goes a little bit beyond the skin, like into a sense of almost glowing open. And at the same time as you've got this sort of glowing, open expansiveness thing happening, also just letting yourself be really nourished by that feeling. I'm just going to sing a little song by Sylvan Esso for y'all in Shavasana here. Look at all the parts I wish for. neck and it shines through me. A swallow in a cage, oh, slack jaw me. Can't you see there's so many rhythms and harmonies? Is it a song or just a landmine? Or a feeling roaming free? It's overtaken me. I'm gonna hold it till it dries up, or pocket it for another day. If it's me I cannot give up, I would rather that she stayed. Oh, slack jaw me. Can't you see there's so many rhythms and harmonies? I got all the parts I wished for. I've got everything I need. Sometimes I'm above water, but mostly I'm at sea. Oh, slack jaw me. Can't you see there's so many rhythms and harmonies? Drawing in a deep inhalation. And beginning to flicker the fingers and the toes. And roll the wrists and ankles. And when you're ready, just reaching the arms up long overhead again, lengthening the legs. You might yawn. And another big breath. And as you exhale, just like float yourself right down into the ground again. And then just making your way back up to a comfortable seated position. And we'll bring the arms up to a T, lifting the palms, lift the chest and lift the face. Inhale. Exhaling, drawing the hands together at the center line. And for a couple moments here, just feeling the heart. Offering good energy to all the people who have been joining this practice today. And then drawing all that good energy right back into yourself. And please join me in chanting Om, just one time in closing. And big reverberative sound. Inhale. Thank you all for your practices. Thanks everybody. That was nice. yeah, if you can afford to support me on Patreon or on Revolut or on PayPal, please do. Otherwise, you're very welcome to join the practice anyway. And that's all. I think I'm going to be doing some singing over the weekend on Instagram at Deirdre Murphy Music. Yeah, like a little Sunday brunch sort of singing sort of thing. Sounds very nice, like around 1 o'clock. Yes, I'll do it on 1 o'clock on Sunday. And probably some new stuff and some things that have never seen the light of day before. Things that have never seen the light of day. But things that are very meaningful to me as well. Like there's a song, for example, that I wrote when my mom died, or the same week that my mom died, that I think I will try to unearth or like try to excavate to the guitar. That is all. That'll be Deirdre Murphy Music on Instagram, and hope that y'all have a lovely weekend. Bye. Love you too, Jenny.